Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bom dia, alegria, Montanea, with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where it's momentous today, question 100 of the Portuguese citizenship test. And we are there, question 100. We will be going to question 100 today. We're welcoming Raquel and Nuno, our Portuguese BFFs, talking about the Portuguese presidential battle. There's a little bit of a change in the sound as well, because I was up late last night playing with Gumpy, the new AI co-host. Actually might be able to give you a little bit of a preview of that. I don't think I'm meant to be, so it won't be a lot. Oh, my levels are a bit low, so let me just turn up the mic a little bit. Thanks very much, T-Duck, for your remote production assistance this morning. That's the microphone up a little bit, and if you can give me more feedback of the good kind, that'll be great this morning. Raquel and Nuno joining us, our Portuguese BFFs, and they'll be, of course, responding to the presidential battle. There's more than one presidential battle going on, obviously, around the world at the moment. And their news from their industries. Raquel has hosted, I think it might be a second in real life cultural insight workshop, and we're looking forward to bringing that to the Silver Coast. I'm thinking of maybe doing that around a lunch at the Storytellers, which I think would be a brilliant combo. I've yet to talk to Marco and Miguel at the Storytellers with this view, of course. If you're not aware of the Storytellers Palace Hotel, it has this view that's behind me on the screen this morning of San Martino de Porto Bay. So I think that would be a great combo to have Raquel's cultural insight workshop in real life, not online, although you will be able to download it online soon if you would like to do so. And her introduction to starting a business in Portugal, that's coming as well. I had a chat with her yesterday offline, talking to her online this morning, Raquel and Nuno, at around 8:20 and 8:30 respectively this morning. So looking forward to them and catching up with the things I didn't manage to share with you yesterday, like rice vinegar made here in Portugal. And there was something else as well. Let me just open up my sticky notes. Talking of sticky notes, the toilet troubles and the snow in the Algarve as well. Although I think I might have lost the link to that. There was thought to be snow in the Algarve. It looked to me a bit like sleet, to be honest. They were getting a bit carried away with themselves there. I know that people who come from Canada, even the UK, will have looked at the alleged snow in the Algarve over the last few days. The rain has continued, hasn't it, as well? All night it seems to be raining here. But yeah, I think people who are used to real snow will have looked at the supposed snow that was landing in the Algarve for a few minutes, I think, and said, actually, that's probably sleet. Soon to be sludge. Yes, okay, T-Duck, you may well be interested in what I've got to show your lovely Portuguese products in anticipation of Raquel and Nuno joining us this morning. And I want to give you a little bit of a preview of Gumpy as well. A little bit tired, stayed up late last night, rigging the new AI co-host Gumpy into the show. So that's why the levels have been a bit weird this morning. Using a new mixer or an old mixer, bringing an old mixer back in, where I can, if you look closely on the microphone here, you'll see there's a little lapel mic. That's how I talk to Gumpy. And Mario, who will be coming to talk to us about AI, an AI expert, who, when I told him, look, I want to start a little project on the Good Morning Portugal show where we have a live AI co-host called Gumpy. What do you think? Easy peasy. At the moment, we're testing. And we're educating her, I suppose. Yes, it's she. I mean, you've got to, in this environment, kind of breakfast telly sort of stuff, you've got to have the old guy and the young woman combo, have you not? Although you're in on this early, so if you've got any feedback of how you might anticipate Gumpy to be as a personality, do let me know. And I'll feed it into her LLM, as it were. Never imagined I'd be saying that. I'd be feeding anything into anybody's LLM in my life, but there you go. Such are the times we live in. That's what's happening. Yeah, and question 100 of the Portuguese citizenship test this morning, and a little bit of news about what will follow it. I think I've got a good idea to follow it. I've really enjoyed doing 100 quiz questions in the morning, and then making them into clips and then putting them on our YouTube channel and Facebook page as well, and occasionally up on X too, where we stream. Good morning to you if you're watching on X. So yeah, it just seemed right to stay with the format of a quick and easy and informative little question for you, and we're going to do something new along those lines as well. Let's say a few good mornings this morning. Oh, I haven't. I was just reaching for my mute button so I could cough and clear the humidity, as it were. Thank you, T Duck, for that for that bit of feedback there. And I'm using a new little mixer, so I had to turn the pot down. Turn the pot down. No. Yes, it's called a pot. There's no getting away from it. I had to spin the pot, as it were, tinker with the pot this morning. Some people think I tinker with the pot every morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. But thank you for that, Tina. I'll turn that up to where I think it was, where we're just touching the red. No one wants to do that. First thing, oh God, Chris. Good morning to you. Let's change the subject. Hola, bon dia, tudo bem. Train Chronicles, then the Capricorn Chronicle from His Majesty's Public Transport in the UK. The seat that is suspiciously left empty at the front of a full train. Yes, when you get on the train and it's absolutely packed, apart from one empty seat. I think we've all learned, haven't we? Maybe as school kids when we were commuting, if that's how we went to school. I did. That you don't rush to the empty seat if the train is full. There's probably a really good reason. Somebody may have wet themselves on there or something, as a kebab juice or something like that on the seat from the night before. The seat that is suspiciously left empty at the front of a full train. Everyone left it empty. Then someone sits in it just as the train pulls into the next station. They risk it, don't they? Did we ever find out? Did they leap up rapidly, having sat down into it, or was it just like a case of everybody following the leader, and there was no reason? The supposed leader, yeah, that's an interesting metaphor, isn't it? Following leaders at the moment. Did everybody just take their cue socially from everybody else? And there was actually nothing wrong with that seat in the first place. Come on, Chris, tell us what happened. Bon dia alegria gumpers from T Duck earlier on this morning. What do you think? I've shared the test from last night. Actually, I'm going to share it with all of you, but T Duck was first to hear that. As a little bit of beta testing and for a first bit of feedback with a very obvious first response. Which I suspect some other gumpers will have as well. So I will play a little. Don't tell Mario, but I am going to play a little bit of a snippet. Wait a minute again, please, if you will. The humidity and the chuckling is not a very good combination. I do like this old Tascam desk, though, T-Duck, I have to say. A rainy morning in Lisbon for you. Hopefully it clears up later so we can go walkies. Where have you been recently? How many steps are you doing every day? On this day in history, then, Portuguese rebels led by military officer Henrique Galvão, a critic of the Salazar dictatorship, hijacked the Portuguese luxury cruise ship Santa Maria on this day in Portuguese history. That's cool. The ship was seized while en route from Lisbon to Venezuela, of all places, with over 600 passengers and crew. Wow. Galvão and his group, 24 commandos, aimed to use it as a propaganda tool against Salazar's authoritarian regime, planning to sail to Angola to establish a renegade government. Wowzers. I've never heard of this in Portuguese history. The hijacking lasted about 12 days. It ended peacefully after negotiations, with the ship diverted to Brazil, where no doubt there were some officers of the Estado Novo waiting to have a chat. Is that where it ends? Do we not find out what happened to him and his crew there, T-Duck? Nuno sent us a message early on. Good morning, everybody. I had some great service with Gonzalo, who I deal with at Winsurance yesterday. He's a top man. He really is. I was going to call him a top lad. It sounds a bit patronizing to say that, but it's a compliment from my native UK. Bon dia to you, Nuno from T-Duck, and I'm sure everybody else here as well. Bon dia, Gumpers, currently on the train headed to Lisbon. To Lisboa, then, a busy week of travel. Lovely, as your name suggests there, World Traveller Mike 161. Does it sound like you got some sunshine then? Or you are the sunshine, I'm guessing there, Nuno, even if it is raining in the capital. Bon dia from Sarah as well. Good morning from Pete, everyone. What a soggy start. Does the AI Gumper have a full suit? No. You've gone off on a tangent. Says more about you than me, I think, Peter. We use rice vinegar. It would be nice to find some made here. Well, It's funny you should say that. We grow rice here in Portugal, of course. Now, having said all that I've said about rice and Portuguese and Portugal, I'm guessing that it is made. Maybe you can look it up when I show you this. Um, there's a big label, but they want the designers held sway here. They're not going to put big print and spoil this lovely design. It is a lovely design, and that's what caught my eye when I was wandering through Intermarché, my local supermarket, just recently. And it's Vinegre de Arroz, made by the wonderful Paladin Company, who for some reason always make me think of the Rolling Stones. I do like their logo. And you can find out more at vinegresmarena.pt. So I think the company is Moreno. Is that, if I put it on the screen, I might be able to see it better myself. No, that's actually not. The creator of vinegars. And since 19 something or other, a long time since a long time ago, I'm gonna have to give in and wear some specs, aren't I? Especially for this sort of stuff. Moreno, Sommelier Caningrin. How about that? That's how the advert would sound, I suspect. And aromatic and aromatico y suave is the flavor signature of this. 5% acidity. It is vegan, as you might expect, and I can't see whether it is made here or not. But I guess if you do a quick search of that, isn't that lovely? And if you're making sushi, of course, you might want a bit of rice vinegar. If you're making a salad dressing, that'll be nice as well. But what a lovely bottle and what a lovely product! I do love finding nice new Portuguese products as yet unopened. Probably unsafe to open a vinegar in the studio, so I won't give it a sniff or a taste this morning. Yeah, but keen to try that. Junta esta vinagre e outros ingredientes de cozinha oriental. Okay, so they're recommending you use it in Oriental cookery, but that originating in, if not created and the ingredients produced in Portugal, there, Moreno rice vinegar. I commend to you, made possible by the folks at Paladin, whose ketchups and mayonnaise you may have tried when out and about in cafes. Is this a new? Is this you, Kate? Or no, it's Anna. Bon dia from Anna Bon dia Alegria. I definitely do need to get some specs that have you noticed this? Your eyesight is affected by how tired you are as well, isn't it? Of course, as well. So I'm going to go with that as well this morning. Morning to you, Anna. How are you doing? Are you back here yet? Or are you still in that chilly Sweden of yours? Bon dia alegria a todos e feliz quarta-feira. Happy hump day from Matty, who doesn't like a quiz question first thing. I do. I really do. And I'm going to give you that 100th quiz question from the Portuguese citizenship test in just a moment. It's like the Portuguese citizenship test. The Portuguese citizenship test is dead. Long live the next quiz. Details about that to follow as well. We walk all over Lisbon looking for streets that we haven't walked yet. We try to walk, 40 to 50 kilometers a week, but it's difficult. It sure is. Even the Portuguese have had enough of this cold, damp, and wetness. I suspect. Come on. And when I talked to the amazing Charles Roberts yesterday, I commend this one to you, the Portugal resident interview that I did yesterday. We have a chat with Natasha Don on a Friday about her 3 top news picks, and I interview somebody from the scene. The wonderful what would you call them? The grandees, are they called? Is that a compliment? But the legends of Portuguese life, people who've been here for a long time, who've got some extraordinary things to report and say and share with us. And Charles Roberts is such a good example. As soon as I started talking to him yesterday, I was thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be great. What a ledge. He's been here. He came here in 1980 for the first time. And when he first got here, he was involved in a motorbike, an early motorbike or moped rental scheme, where there's a hilarious, if unfortunate, end to the story. And his co-owner of that, where he was allowed to operate the business, was I think a Dutch, as I recall, a Dutch club owner who was ultimately assassinated. Can you believe that? I don't know if he was assassinated in Portugal, but he came to a very bad end. and he was the co-owner and investor of this business that Charles was involved in, who ultimately became involved in real estate here in Portugal, and has some amazing stories to tell about early timeshare selling here in the Algarve. And when Albufeira was just a little town, with a fishing village, presumably with a little market square, he remembers it from those days. And we talked about how things have changed. He lives in Cascais now, and was a great guest to talk to. So that will be published at 3 this afternoon. I recommend you have a listen to that. Great chap to talk to, a Yorkshireman originally as well, a lover of football, cricket, rugby, loves his British sport, and loves Portugal, and a great chap to speak to. So the Charles Roberts interview you will be able to listen to at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Right, okay, let's go over to that Portuguese citizenship test question then. 100. If I had a fanfare, I would play it. Here we go then. And also that little preview of the Gumpy, the AI, who will be joining us soon as well. As soon as Mario, who will also be our resident talking about AI, he'll be joining us. He's the developer of that. And he's not going to let me, I don't think he's going to let me use it until he's happy with Gumpy being inflicted on the world. As my new AI co-host on Good Morning Portugal, you will be able to ask questions, as I did last night. I asked a question. I'll get a little bit of your feedback in our intimate setting here before we unleash Gumpy on the rest of the world. Okay, let's go to the Portugal Club then for the Portuguese citizenship test question 100. Yeah, same. Bom dia. Yes, we made it. Muito obrigado if you took part. How did you get on? This has been sent out to everybody who's a subscriber at the Portugal Club this morning. It may bring a few people in a little bit later on. Only just been posted up. I'll share the whole quiz today, so I'll do that for you. All the questions, if you want to go through them yourself, there's a list of them at the Portugal Club as well. I'll tell you where to find that in just a moment if you want to recap and have a look. What's coming next are Portuguese essentials. Yes, 100 things that you need to know about. Can you guess what we're starting with? Number 1 of the Portuguese essentials. I'm thinking now maybe it shouldn't be, but at the moment in the draft list of 100 things you should know that are in the spirit of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, just taking care of all that stuff so you can just get on with enjoying your life here in Portugal. There are 100 things that I want to bring to your attention, like a checklist, and so you can go, yeah, done that, got that all in a file. I'm as Portuguese ready as I possibly can be with all of these things. We're going to have a list of 100 such things, and probably it's the first 20, 30 that are really important, and some of the others are fairly important, and then a few optional extras. But it's going to be Portuguese essentials next, one of those a day. And I was going to start with the NIF number. Do you think that's going to put everybody off? Starting with the número de contribuinte as our first port of call. It feels like everything starts with the NIF in terms of bureaucracy and Portuguese essentials. Maybe it needs to be something like the pastel de nata needs to be Portuguese essential number 1. I might have to rethink that, but that's what's coming next. Portuguese essentials as we see off the Portuguese citizenship test with question 100. How have you done with this? The final question then, the ultimate question here. What is the name of the traditional Portuguese flatbread? Is it A, the broa, the cornbread? I bought one of these yesterday. My youngest loves a bit of cornbread, unlike the other 2 kids, actually. So, yeah, it was nice to get a cornbread yesterday, and it tasted like a really nice, locally made one. So is it the broa? Oh, thank you. People are voting already. Is it the broa A? Is it B, the pão de milho? Or is it C, the bolo de cacau? Bolo de cacau. Bolo de cacau. It doesn't sound very nice, but it is very tasty, I can assure you. What is the name of the traditional Portuguese flatbread? Is it A, broa, B, pão de milho, or C, bolo de cacau? And I think Raquel might incorporate some of these in her Portuguese cultural in real life workshop we're working on that. Raquel, I've been telling everybody about how we're going to bring that to the Silver Coast soon, with a splendid lunch at the Storytellers and maybe a tour of San Martinho de Porto with me as well in the afternoon to walk off that lunch. Oh, look, the voting is split already. It's like Brexit all over again, Pete. Neil has gone for bolo de cacau, and I think Mike, yes, morning, Mike's gone for pão de milho there. As we conclude our 100 test questions, my goodness, 21 minutes past 8. I haven't. I thought I heard Raquel arrive. Oh, she's back again now. I'm sure she's tinkering with her settings. So yeah, Portuguese essentials to follow on. The first one tomorrow. don't worry. If the idea of the NIF being number one has put you off, there will be others. Well, actually, it's not a popularity competition. It's to make sure you've got everything bureaucratically squared away, basically. Things you might not know about, things you do know about, but don't know what to do about them. We're going to help you with those Portuguese essentials. Okay. Oh, and yeah, one more thing. If you go to the classroom of the Portugal Club and you go to, I think, where is it? Portuguese A to Z. Where was that? Yes, Portuguese A to Z. This is a really nice little primer here of, as you might imagine, Portuguese A to Z, beginning with A Portuguesa, the Portuguese national anthem, Bacalhau, Coronation Revolution. See, A, B, C, D, districts of Portugal. And the Q is the Portuguese citizenship test that I've been sharing with you every morning there. And I don't think the answers are there. I'm going to have to post those up separately. I thought I posted up the answers, but the whole quiz is there if you want to give it a go of your own. Which Antonio F. moved straight over it and helped me refine it. So thank you very much. Oh, incidentally, the traditional scarf worn by fado singers is the jail fadista, I think. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct there. But if you just type quiz, oh, actually, that might bring all of the questions up, which you could vote on then. Yes, you'll see them in community there. Am I showing you the right screen? Yes, I am. 113 of them, listings of the quiz if you just search for quiz. And the Portuguese citizenship tests questions in the Portuguese A to Z primer there. Excellent. Thank you very much for your forbearance on that. A little taster of Gumpy to come, but we can't keep her waiting. Let's bring her onto the screen now, and a round of applause. It's a light background. I hope you can hear. Hola, bon dia, Raquel.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Loud and clear. Yes, perfectly.
I just had some issues this morning. I wasn't hearing anything. In fact,
you're not actually coming through the
like this.
Okay, it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes I have been talking into a microphone like this, but actually it's going through the webcam mic or something. Something else.
The whole first episode of my podcast was like that. I only found out that I wasn't speaking to the microphone.
It was going so well.
Yeah. Later on, the whole first episode is me not having a mic in front of me and it not being even on. So,
well, these are the learning experiences that improve the process.
And nobody knows, right? I mean, they would assume we know what we're doing. Wrongly assume.
Yes.
And well, so that's fine.
Anyone who's been watching this show for a while knows that me knowing what I'm doing is just a thin veneer. Well, Alan's joining us from Massachusetts again, 2 days in a row. Look out. Hello. You're getting ever closer, Alan. Good to see you, Alan Martins, this morning. So how are you? It's great to chat with you yesterday, Raquel. We had a wonderful talk about the success of your cultural, what do you call them? Cultural immersion workshops. It went very well, didn't it, the last one?
It did. This was actually an experiment because the previous talk before the alumni that I organized, then a lot of people showed up, was for business culture.
Yeah.
And I ended up having a lot of, it kind of turned into a more general conversation about Portuguese culture. And so, whenever I post on social media, if ever I post about general culture, it blows up a lot. So there's a lot more visibility. And I was like, okay, let's try to see if there's a need, if there's, interest in something more general. And fire test, right? Like, let's try to do my first paid talk and see if 5 people show up, that's fine. If one person shows up, that's fine. No expectations, and it went, much better than I anticipated. In fact, I had booked for 20 seats. We ended up being around 25 seats, cool. Plus, the videographer and my other guests that I had. And so it was quite composed, and it was wonderful not only to see people that already know me, that were clients. I had 3 clients there, but also people that I don't know from anywhere. Cool. And that actually trust you, to go there and hear what you're saying. That was like, I was fascinated with those people. I was like, thank you so much. Because it's such a testament of trust to give you, time is the most precious commodity, and those people gave me their
100%.
time, and
Yeah, yeah.
so I take a lot of care with that time. I try, not to waste any time. I try to give them a good time. We had pastéis de nata, which is always
Of
nice.
course. Gotta
We
be
we
done.
had white wine and red wine, and we had a laugh as well. So I think it went really well. I think it was great, and I think that you gave me the best idea ever when talking about national tour with this
Oh,
program,
yes.
because
Yes, yes.
it's probably fun, right? I'm here. These in-person programs have the limitation of only people that are from around here. And actually, I had Sam and Alan from the Silver Coast to come down just for that. I was like, oh my God, you're
That's
insane.
great. That's great.
But it's good that we could do this, in other places, for other people to be able to easily, spend an hour and a half or whatever it is to have some more information and another view. Who knows? I mean, it's always different because I'm Portuguese, right? I've lived
Mhm.
here all my life. And there are some things that are ingrained in us, and probably only we really need to explain this.
You know
It's
what?
something
I'm
that,
thinking as well. It's a kind of safe space, isn't it? Here it is. A key word here is understanding, isn't it?
yeah.
And that if people have you with them in a room, it's a safe space to say, Raquel,
Oh,
look, I guess those are the ground rules, right? People can ask anything. It's like, why
anything.
does why does this happen here? It's
And
like,
there were great questions.
yes, I
There
bet.
were great questions,
Yes.
but things that I didn't even think about.
You wouldn't,
And
would you? You wouldn't, because it wouldn't
no,
occur to you the way it does a foreigner.
exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's also a great learning experience, because then I get to understand what people experience themselves and like ask because they feel well. It was. I'll give you this example, which was precious. When to call Nina or Senhora to someone. This
Yes.
had never occurred to me. And we were talking about the formality of the Portuguese people. In English, there's you. And in Portuguese, there's 1,001 different variations, from Your Excellency to você
Your
to tu.
Excellency, yes.
You know,
Yeah,
it is used. It is
yeah,
quite
yes,
used.
when the government write to you, they call you that, don't they, I think?
Yeah.
On some of
And
those
in my corporate
scary
life,
letters. Yes.
and whenever, maybe this is a heritage, but whenever I write to someone that I don't know, I always call them that.
Yes.
And this lady was asking, okay, so when do we transition from menina to senora? And I
Mm.
was like, well, I know I hated when that happened, because when people started referring to me as senora, I knew that I was getting old. So this is the type of fun question that occur and that happen. It's so and a lot of people then contribute as well, so people can also
Yes.
say what, have their opinion, and it happens to be then like great masterclass about Portuguese culture. So it's really great.
Yeah, but a comment here. Wait, Raquel has lived in Portugal her whole
Yes.
life?
Yes, I
If
am
so,
Portuguese de Gema. I was born in Lisbon, in Cruz Vermelha. So, like the most,
you couldn't be more
uh,
Portuguese, basically, right?
it couldn't be more Portuguese, basically, exactly. And I've lived in Oeiras all my life, so around here, the coast, and now in Cascais. I've traveled really a lot. The bilingual thing is probably because I have a good ear, and of course we're exposed to a lot of American culture and English culture with the movies and the songs and all of that. And I think it also started because in one summer I was about, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old, and I started reading books in English, and
Mm,
that
yeah.
really made the click for the vocabulary and for me to be able to step up and learn English really really well. And
Well,
then
the
it's a gift,
shocker
I guess.
well, the shocker, look, for Alan is, if so, you speak better English than most people here. That's in America. That's in the States.
Well, maybe there are people that are learning Portuguese that speak better Portuguese than I do. I curse
I
a
doubt
lot.
it. I doubt it. We'll bring Nuno on in just a minute. It's a testament to
Uh,
Raquel's interesting and fun post that her warm personality shines through, that so many trusted her to attend. Yeah, it's all about the trust, isn't it? As I
oh
think
my
we
God.
talked about yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. So, suffice to say, we will be bringing it to the Silver Coast, and we look forward to having that session with you. It's like 90 minutes, couple of hours possibly.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
make sure we have a nice lunch, and then maybe a wander about San Martino de Porto. It'll be a lovely social as well. So that's where the tour begins, as you take this all around Portugal. First
Yeah.
stop, perhaps,
Woo!
the
So
Silver Coast.
excited.
Fantastic. Before we bring him on with some very big news, here's something maybe you can help us out with here this morning. The Arvo, and this
Evolve.
new lavatory. I don't think this brand is going to work in Portugal, is it? Volvo is how you might refer to your grandparent in Portugal.
Granddad.
No,
Well,
this is terrible. I
yeah,
shouldn't have shown this morning.
it
Okay, we're going to
depends on
ban this.
it can go either to your grandmother or to your grandfather, because it depends
Really?
on the accent. What's it called that you put on the last letter on O? Because if you put the circumflex thing, it's
Yes.
called vovô, and it's the
Vovô.
granddad. If you
Yes.
put the normal accent, and I'm really sure I don't know if it's called accents, but if
Yeah.
you do put that, then it's called vovó, and it's the
Yeah.
grandmother.
Vovó and vovó. Okay, it's
Yeah,
quite a subtle difference that when you're learning your Portuguese. But I'm going to call now.
a different hat.
Well, for this brand of technological lavatory, these are the special. I mean, it's a compliment in a way, because the Volvo lavatory is one of those technologically advanced lavatories that does all the work for you, if you know what I mean. You're free just to look at your phone while this thing takes care of business. But they're going to have to change the name when they introduce it into the Portuguese landscape, right?
I had a terrible experience with one of these, and I was at the bank
Did
of all
you?
places.
Oh no, at the bank.
Because we just went into a new building, and there was one of these things, and I was like really curious, right? But I didn't want my bum seated there while I experimented.
Oh,
So
you just look from a distance.
no, I just pushed a freaking button. I hadn't
Yeah.
done anything, so thank God, the water
Yes,
was
yes.
fresh, and it sprayed like all around the freaking bathroom. I was completely soaked. And then I was like, how
Oh,
am I
I need
going
my
to
new bum.
explain this? And how am I going to re-enter my workplace
Covered
having
in
had
water.
a shower from the sanita, from the, how do you
Yes.
call sanita? What do you call that?
From the cubicle, from the toilet
From the
itself? Yes,
toilet.
from
How
the
can
casa
I
de
explain
baño.
that?
Yes, yes. How did you explain that?
I took off the outer layer of
Yeah.
my suit.
Yes.
Thank God it was black pants. I went and rushed in and sat down, and got about 2,000 paper towels to dry
Yeah.
the walls and dry everything up, and didn't
Yes.
leave the bathroom until there was quite enough that I knew
Oh my
that no one
God.
would cross paths with me.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
pretended like everything was normal, act normal.
Okay. All right. So yes, as T Duck I think has said to me on occasion, buttons are not toys, as you discovered on that occasion. Yes, best not to mess about.
Lesson learned.
You didn't think that through, did you? That you were dressed in your corporate
Not at
outfit.
all.
What happens
Not at
if I
all.
push this button?
Curiosity got the better of me.
He really did. Talking of cats, he has his cat with. Let's bring. The reason there's all this talk about grandparents is we have some lovely news. Let's bring him onto the screen. Hola, bon dia, Grandad. He's here, everybody.
Hello. Good morning,
Parabéns,
everyone.
parabéns,
Raquel.
vovô.
Congrats!
Yeah, it's true.
How
It's lovely
exciting!
news. Lovely news. How is everybody doing, Nuno?
It's a granddaughter. My daughter, she's the one that is having not a good time,
Oh,
because yes, with pain and the adjustment,
yeah.
and also because they lived in a bubble of, like, when she was playing with her dolls, when she was a kid, and now the reality is very different. Okay,
Oh, yeah, of
so
course.
yeah, the baby cries. It's normal,
Yeah.
and it's a all day long job.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, and my advice was, look, you two, you need to do an app to sleep every time that she goes sleep. Otherwise, you will not handle.
Yeah. So
See,
Grandad's
so
there with some advice. So you're chipping in with your considerable experience of raising two daughters yourself
yeah,
there. So, but
yeah. For,
congratulations. How's it feel, Nuno, to be a granddad?
oh, actually, I don't feel much.
Okay.
I think that I will start feeling well. Of course, I feel that, but I'm not involved into
Yeah.
yet.
Yes,
See?
of course.
I guess you're running
So
away, is what you're saying at
Yeah, he
this
is.
no, no,
Yeah.
stage.
no, 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 at
I'll be
all,
back.
at all.
I'll be back in a little
Actually,
while.
I'm just waiting when she
Turns 18.
will reach 5 or 6 years old
Yes.
to catch her, and now we go the two.
Yes, the camping and all these
Basically, this.
wonderful. I bet you've got some wonderful plans, as Matty is suggesting here. Congrats to Nuno, another girl you can pamper, and I think it's a matter of public. Um, we all know how much you love your daughters, and I
No,
can
yeah.
only begin to imagine how much love this little granddaughter is going to have heaped upon her by Vovó Nuno as well, or Vovó Nuno.
No, and you know, we can, just looking to my daughter, we feel that she already is an amazing mother.
of course,
She wants to be a mother. So,
Oh,
and because I share with you and hear many times my thoughts that for me one of the biggest problems on the society is about parenting. So
mm,
if they do the parenting job properly, oh, my granddaughter, she has all the probabilities in favor of her
of
to
course.
thrive later. Yeah.
Well, she has all our love and best wishes from
Thank
here,
you. Thank
for
you.
what it's worth, from our
What's her
community.
name?
Alba.
Oh,
Alba, how lovely, how lovely. And is that an unusual name in Portuguese culture?
Yes, it's more normal in Spain, and as you
Okay.
know, I'm half Spanish. I
Yes,
don't know if it was because of this, but they are the two who choose
of course.
the name. So I'm not involved on that. I don't want to be intrusive. As I say, I'm only a dad. I'm only a granddad now.
Only a
I'm not the
granddad.
dad.
I think
So
that the little baby's going to know you very well as you shower her with love, as I'm sure you will do. So, welcome to the world, little
thank
Alba.
you.
How lovely, and congratulations to all of you there, Nuno. What lovely news to share. Wow, and we could just. Oh, hello. There's the cat here as well this morning.
Yes, but the camera do not catch her.
Oh,
So
okay. She's having a nice sleep with you. She's
yeah,
oblivious to anything else other than your affection there. Yeah, it's hard to switch, isn't it, from such beautiful news into our corporate worlds. We've heard about Raquel's wonderful cultural immersion experience. What have you got to tell us from the world of insurance? I've got great feedback. I was dealing with Gonzalo yesterday. He's such a great member of your team. What a top lad. Gonzalo is. So thanks to him, and thanks to you for having such a great and friendly team. What's new in insurance, Nuno?
well, insurance, insurance, they are starting giving signs to the market that they want to be involved with the people along their lives or our lives. So they are really working on assisting services.
Okay.
But I think that we have, they want to put in place something to help the people, but to provide this kind of services when we get older. But I think that we have in Portugal a lack of human resources to do that. So between the will and the resources that they have, we'll have something in the future, but I'm not expecting exciting news on
Okay.
this.
As
Definitely.
in,
And regarding insurance, now we are expecting to see what the storms that are that we are waiting for the following days,
Yeah.
especially up north, what they will give us regarding claims. But yes, it's every year we have several incidents or events like this, or if it's a fire, or if it's a flood, or if it's a huge storm or whatever. So it's part of life. So
Yeah, but it seemed to rain all
managing
night
this.
last night. I mean, the rain's extraordinary. And I was saying to Charles Roberts when I spoke to him yesterday, if you just talk to Portuguese people trying to find out if it's normal or not, one person will say, yeah, it's quite normal at this time of year. It's called winter for a reason, sort of thing. You feel a bit silly. And then someone else say, no, it's definitely the end of the world. There's not usually this much rain. And I can't get a consensus on it. But he said something brilliantly Portuguese, which was, oh, come February, the sun will be probably cracking the pavement and we'll all have forgotten about it. That's how we roll, isn't it, right? We're just waiting for the sunshine.
It's true. It's true.
He's been here for 40 years, so he knows what he's talking about. It's like, we'll just forget. Rainy day today, won't be able, this is in Central for Matty, won't be able to have my solar battery recharged by the sun. Might need to fire up the Jenny at some point. How's yours, Mel? Mel was picking up a generator, or was having it delivered yesterday. Of course, I want to talk about the presidential contest. And as I've realized, Carl, he's just far too interested in Portuguese politics. No one cares, Carl. I think I'm
Not
a bit
even
more
us.
bothered. Not even the Portuguese, right? It's like it was 53% turnout, I think. And this one is obviously a little bit more interesting with Ventura in the race. I definitely want to get your views on that. But before we move on to that, it's very interesting you mentioned this, Nuno, about how was it the government and the health service that are making some noises about aging and realizing that we have a quickly aging population, and we're going to have to come up with some good solutions for looking after people in older age. Was that the government you were talking about, or the insurance industry?
The insurance industry.
Okay.
The government and the public organizations, they know, but I'm not expecting much from them.
Is that because it's like it's going to be massive? We do have a social challenge, more aging, more people living longer and more of them, fewer younger people who are working and paying taxes to afford that level of care that those people will need. So is it a case of people like, okay, that's a bit of a time bomb, let's just look over here at something else. Let's build a road instead?
I think that the problem is not that we are living longer. The problem is that we are living more years with less health.
Oh, chronic health problems, yeah,
and expensive health.
Okay.
Actually, yesterday I assisted to the biggest Portuguese insurer event, the launch of 2026, and they said that the market expectation about healthcare costs. I'm not talking about healthcare, about health insurance premiums. Okay, I'm talking only about healthcare costs. It will be the minimum of 10%. So they expect 10 or more percent the increase of cost expenses.
Right.
And this is not only on the private, because also the public sector, they are spending more and more money on everything.
Yes.
So, and this is a challenge, how we can provide, how we can assist people. I know that the Portuguese culture is to support the elderly people, okay, as a society, as a family. But due to the displacement of the youngers to live to other countries, I think that on the last 12 years, 1.5 million young people left Portugal to live abroad, to seeking for a better life.
Good
and
heavens.
this will make a rupture. Yes, because it's like 15% of the Portuguese population, you see?
Yeah.
So this will make a rupture on this assumption that the children will take care of their parents.
Right.
So we need to wait to see. but I think that we will face these somehow, maybe in 15 years ahead or 10 years ahead.
Yeah, and at that point, we'll either say, we really should have done something about that, or
Yeah.
look what we did. We took this seriously, entrepreneurially, politically, and we've got an amazing situation, because there are some incredible opportunities in this, aren't there? To make Portugal a better place for young people to stay in, to enjoy
Yes.
the wonderful quality of life that the rest of us come here to enjoy. I mean, there's a really sad kind of poetry to that, isn't there? That us lot are coming to Portugal to enjoy the good quality of life. Meanwhile, the younger people of the country are moving out to better their chances and to be able to survive. That needs that's got to be sorted out at some point with some innovative thinking, and the care of old people. There's I think there's an amazing opportunity commercially to provide some decent care for people. And the market is growing for sure. I mean, I think these things already exist, but that's going to have to scale up. Raquel, what are you seeing a business opportunity? Do you know people involved in that?
Well, actually, I have friends in the health industry and I know that they're trying to be innovative in terms of having solutions that are increasingly cheaper and that respond to the needs of people, like uh, adapting much better the offer of healthcare to the specific person. So, for instance, I have some friends that have Healing, which is a company that offers the specific help and the specific amount of consultations that the person needs based on the uploading of previous exams and things like that. And
Ah,
so I think what now probably needs to happen is more of a tailor-made solution for each person, where you're not offering everything to everyone for a lot of years. You're tailoring the response that people need to their specific needs, and that's much
mm,
more cheaper because you're not wasting resources, you're not making available resources that people won't use ever.
yeah,
And so there are some amazing new things being built in the health industry, and you can't forget about even like medical instruments and um, health tech. So health tech sector is growing. There's a lot of research going on, lab tests, even medical devices for surgeries and for stuff like that. So although yes, that is true um, that health is getting more and more expensive, I also think that we continuously come up with new solutions that sometimes can revolutionize a treatment that was really expensive, and then suddenly it turns into a much more simpler thing. And we've had so many examples of this in the
mm,
past. And even here in Portugal, we've been quite innovative in terms of difficult surgeries, like the transplant of I think it was either liver transplant or heart transplant. I'm not sure, but there was a study about the mortality of people that had these transplants between after the immediate moment of transplant and then being back to health. And this was studied, and now they figured it out what the problem was, and the mortality rate has gone way down. And so I
great.
think that this kind of ingenuity continues to exist, continues to be promoted, and I think that has to be the way out of this hole, because otherwise I don't think there's obviously we're all growing old. I think someone was commenting that a preventive
Yes.
healthcare is not being promoted at all, which is very, 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 very silly. And preventive medicine, I think, is the way. So if you just allow people to have the easiness of doing some tests, of running some tests, of having some exams done, and then having some basic consultations, we can probably um, make it a lot easier for years to come. And even these Ozempics and Monjaros of this life, we're now finding out that it's good for a whole lot of plethora of other things.
Mm,
So I think there's an experimental stage that we're going through, and
it's-
that's very good.
yeah, it does feel like we're going through an experiment. doesn't it? For
right?
sure. We're living with the results, for sure. Good comments coming in. This is extraordinary. I mean, we've heard it. It's not like the first time we've heard this, Nuno, and I'm sure you hear this pretty much every day. But as someone who is Portuguese but lives in the US, it's hard to understand the talk about people leaving Portugal for a better life. Here in the US, I pay $2,400 a month for insurance. I mean, that's just insane, isn't it? 1,300 a month for real estate taxes, the racism, the guns. Be careful what you wish for, says Alan. But just $2,500 nearly for medical insurance. That I mean, yeah, let's answer that question. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, before talking about the insurance cost, which is outrageous, the cost of healthcare in the United States, because it means there is no reason for that. Okay, but just to explain why so many people left Portugal, this was in 2008 when Portugal was bankrupt, actually.
Yeah.
And the government, they said that younger people should left the country, okay? Because on those moments we are really living hard times in Portugal. So
can I just stop you there? The government said that you should go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's a terrible
and they went.
admission of defeat, isn't it? My God.
Yeah. Because we had no opportunities on those times. But on the last years, they are saying the reverse. They are creating opportunities. They are creating tax incentives. Buying house has some advantages also to younger people. So they are trying to attract people. These people that left Portugal to come back.
Yeah. Well, I predict.
Let's see what's happening.
Yeah. I don't take any pleasure in it, but my prediction about the American refugee, as it were, it seems to be coming true. And I predict next the great Portuguese return at some point. And that I mean, that needs some encouragement, and it's a slow process, isn't it? Where I remember working with a Polish guy in UK, and Polish people always used to come to the UK to earn more money. And I remember the moment when we're chatting one night. He was the kind of night watchman at the place I worked, and I lived on site, and I was chatting with him about life, the universe, and everything. And he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, actually, there was another conversation." The Polish guy said, "I don't know why I'm here anymore. I might as well live in Poland. The difference is not, I get a much better quality of life in Poland now." And then there was a Portuguese guy I worked with who said to me, "Do you think he heard we were moving to Portugal? He said, 'Do you think I should go home?' I said, 'I don't know, but yes.'" He was like, he was feeling that same thing. And that's the biting point, isn't it? Where you think, why the hell am I doing this? It used to be a no-brainer. Like going to Luxembourg, for example, where you're getting 3 times the salary and a different quality of life. Of course, we understand that. But when the difference changes and the quality of life becomes a big issue, that's when we're going to see a change, aren't we? And hopefully people can come back to pre-existing family networks as well in Portugal. There's going to be something really worth coming home to in comparison relative to what they're experiencing. Go on, Nuno. I think you wanted to add something more to that.
No. I totally agree.
Yes, and talking of governments, perhaps as well, we should spend a little time talking about the presidential battle. And I've got another question for you that you may or may not want to answer that I'm going to put in the private chat. So whilst we're talking, I don't want to say this out loud, just in case it kind of encourages any bad behavior. But you might want to refer to it in a kind of cryptic way. It's in the private chat now. Look at their faces. Okay. What about coming back to the president of Portugal for a minute? What do you make of this race then? It's polarized, doesn't it, into a left versus right, a far right and kind of left leaning back to socialism competition. What do you think is going to happen? And have you changed your position? I think, it might have been like, oh, no, that could never happen here. We're not going to get Ventura as president. It's like, well, actually, 8th of October, not 8th, but 8th of February, it's coming up. Raquel, what do you make of the battle so far and your prognosis?
Portuguese politics is really funny. I mean, I think that if people from other countries, really, and there's a great Radio Renascença program actually with one person from France and one from Spain, and they have such wonderful views because they're actually looking from the outside, but they really know the country really well politically. And it's really funny because the one guy that won was the one that kept his mouth shut the whole time. So he didn't make any mistakes because he just didn't open his mouth. Basically, he was like under the radar the whole time and like smile and wave. And at the end, the underdog, which was like, oh my God, I can't believe that PS is like presenting this guy because no one knows him, is like, his like, mobilia. How do you say mobilia? He's like furniture, and the
furniture.
Spectrum. Nobody knows that he's there. And then suddenly, because he's furniture, he won because he was like, he didn't screw up. He didn't say things that he shouldn't. And suddenly the boogeyman came in and started to grow. And so everybody was like, oh my God, we don't want that. So we're going to the polar opposite of that, which was him. Because again, furniture. And it's fascinating to see if you start to see at the start of the pollings that he was like way, in the bottom line, and suddenly he started to grow really fast. Again, he didn't say anything. There were no like big interviews. There were no like sound bites. There was nothing complex and nothing like absurd that he said. He just kept his mouth shut.
Yep.
But because we were also so afraid of the boogeyman, I mean, I bet that like 90% of the people who voted for him was just because they were afraid of the other person winning. And the thought of having Ventura and Coutrin in the second round was like scaring everybody so much that they would much rather have like furniture and then Ventura, because the ones that are going to vote for him are going to vote for him, regardless of anything. And the rest of the world, the sane world, is trying to find an alternative. And he was the alternative because he just didn't say anything that that it was bad.
And his name is Seguro. His name is Seguro as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is quite a nice.
So we could say "Vamos votar pelo seguro," which is an expression. It's a popular expression that we say, which is "votar pelo seguro," vote for safety. Whenever there's like stuff like that, and so this time it was literal.
Yes, amazing. And that is his real name. He didn't change it for the purposes of winning the election, did he? He's Senor Seguro. No. Amazing. Thank you, Raquel, for that analysis. What about you, Nuno?
Well, I agree with Raquel. Nevertheless, I say this again. I do not support Ventura at all, but he found his way of getting votes, which is being a bully. Okay, and I think that because his foundations are not based on this, okay, but because he left the PSD, he found out a way to going ahead, and this was his way. So I think that he got all the votes of the blind. When I say the blind people, I mean the people that vote on him no matter what. So it was not part of the population that were in doubt between one or
well, it was always going to happen.
So, no, these are people that vote on him no matter what he says, he perform. no matter what.
And
And
angry
in
people as well, right? I think he gets the frustration vote. This is a sign of the times, isn't it? Across the world, people don't feel represented, so they vote in an angry way, and people pick up votes on that basis as well.
Yeah, and Seguro, he somehow got the same kind of votes, so the votes from the Social Party. Point. And what I think that will happen now is that the people that are not attached with Seguro, neither with Ventura, they will vote against one of the two, and I think that they will vote against Ventura. But let's see.
that is looking likely, isn't it? And there's going to be a rallying around of the. And that's the sad thing about this. This is all about least worst, isn't it, for people?
Yes.
And voting against, not voting for something, which is, again, I guess, is a sign of the times. And I think it's a sad one. But that's where we are. And maybe we should keep my private question to you private. But that's a very good answer, Raquel, in the private chat. If any,
I already thought on the same. Actually.
Do you know what? I'm going to post it up for Portugal club members. I'm going to put that over in the Portugal club as a discussion point. But let's not put it on. Let's not give anyone any ideas by putting it on YouTube this morning.
No, that's not even a discussion. It's like,
okay, let's not talk about that. Okay, all right. Fantastic. We got a great question. Thank you very much from somebody new joining us this morning, because it's 2 minutes past 9. Sorry to keep you. Do you still require private health insurance as part of the visa rules to move there, moving to Murganheira? Yes, you do to move here, but thereafter you can take advantage of the public system having arrived in Portugal once you become a resident, as is the right of all residents in Portugal. So yes, moving, yes. And I think Madalena was possibly in the chat there for you. Sorry, go on, Nuno.
Let me say that we are facing something new, which is to renew the residency. The authorities are requiring health insurance also.
Are they? Okay.
And this is new. This is new for us.
All right. Sorry to hide you there, Raquel. Madalena from Winsurance here. I hope everyone's doing well. I can't wait to see some familiar faces at the upcoming webinars and meetings. Who knows? We'll see you soon. And yeah, thank you for that. That's a good bit of intel actually there. Yes, I'm here. And lovely cat, Nuno. Cat gets a bit of credit this morning. Thank you so much, you guys. It's always fantastic. Our Portuguese BFFs, that's how we refer to you. And it's lovely to get your insight as Portuguese people. And just on this, I promised a little sample of Gumpy, the new AI assistant. So I'm going to use it as a way to finish the show instead of our normal theme tune. This is my conversation with Gumpy last night. And there's something really obvious about her that you'll notice straight away that we may or may not. Yes.
Oh, her.
Yes, of course. You know, like when you watch Portuguese or French TV, or probably British TV, there's an old guy and an attractive young woman. That's how it has to be. Why is that? I know, but that's the rule of broadcasting, is it not? It's a gnarly old guy and a pretty young woman on the screen. I don't know. At this stage, we can lobby for that to change, but that seems to be the convention of broadcasting, doesn't it? And of course, I'm the gnarly old guy. Right. Thank you, Raquel and Nuno, for being here this morning. And we'll see you again next month. This is Gumpy, everybody. Our first test is in our intimate setting here. Cheers, Raquel. Cheers, Nuno. And lots of love to that little baby. Take care. Bye for now. See you tomorrow, everybody.
I'm here and ready to help.
Thank you. Can you tell me about the Good Morning Portugal show community? Who's Carl Munson and who's Thunderduck?
Absolutely. The Good Morning Portugal show is a lively community-driven program that focuses on life in Portugal. They cover a range of topics, from local culture and events to expat experiences and practical advice for those living or interested in moving to Portugal. Carl Munson is the charismatic host of the show.
Oh, thank you.
He's known for his...
How about that? That was meant to end the stream there. That was meant to be my outro video. I'll just press it. I will have a really clunky finish. But have you got any feedback? What do you think? There's an immediate offence, I think, that I've chosen a woman here.
Oh.
Two blokes, two guys on, two male voices. I think it's good to have the contrast. But I guess she could be a non-binary she or something like that. With anything's possible.
That would be more confusing.
Yes, even more
Just
confusing.
let it go. Let the girl be.
Let the girl be. Yeah, okay. So Gumpy gets a thumbs up there. And this is a nice final thought for Alan over in Massachusetts. Your heart will always be here. And remember, there is a festa for you every weekend here in Portugal. Cheers, guys. Thank you, Raquel. Thanks so much, Nuno. Cheers, everybody. See you.